If you spend tons of money fixing your house, will you get it back when it sells? The answer is yes, and the answer is no. How did I come up with this? Very simple. People go sideways on cost of materials. You're able to do a lot on a very basic budget if you just look at the cost of your materials. Do you have to do a laminate countertop or do you have to do a high-end granite countertop? Again, the number one thing you're going to want to focus on when you're selling your property is making it clean and fresh. Buyers coming in, if it doesn't have the latest and greatest granite, that's okay as long as whatever is there is clean and fresh, because they could see them putting in the work themselves, putting the extra money in for them. So I would lean towards not overdoing your property if you're attempting to sell it, because you will not always get that $5,000 granite. Doesn't mean $5,000 on your sales price. The $1,000 granite might mean the $5,000 on your sales price. So for those situations, that's where you're going to see an increase or a return on your budget. Also, as far as pools, people think, oh, can I put a $100,000 pool in and am I ever going to get that $100,000 back? The answer is no. Putting a $100,000 pool in is never going to get you $100,000 back. You always want to avoid these costly expenses. Again, selling a property is simply about making it clean, fresh, and enjoyable for a buyer. When they walk in the door, they can have the vision if they want to put the high-end materials in. The biggest thing buyers want fixed, or the biggest thing buyers want upgrades, to avoid them having to do it, when they walk in and they see a deteriorated kitchen or they see a master bath that's outdated, mentally in their mind they think, oh my gosh, this is going to cost me thousands of dollars. So for that reason, they discount the offer to you. So what you want to focus in, again, when you're redoing a kitchen, do basic cheap granite. You could get slabs as cheap as $100. Do a very basic backsplash. You could get a nice glass backsplash for a couple dollars a foot. You focus on these items, it's going to make a new buyer think you've spent thousands, which is going to give you a higher return on your investment when you go to sell your property. So again, the two things to focus on, it's going to be a master bath, a bathroom, and definitely the kitchen. The number one thing people think they have to repair or they have to change or they have to put in would be new cabinetry. You would be amazed at what just a fresh coat of paint is going to do on an old oak cabinet. It's going to take it from dull to nice, bright, and refreshing. It's going to cost you a can of paint and 2 hours of your time. It's a very simple fix, but it's going to bring a large return on your investment, and it's not going to have to cost $30,000 for a full-blown custom cabinet. Cabinets are your number one thing you can save a lot of money on by not replacing. The easiest thing you can do to increase a property value would be decluttering, cleaning. Just a nice deep cleaning is gonna pay dividends, and the reason why is because it's gonna be fresh, it's gonna be bright, it's gonna smell good. You want as much light as in your house. You want your carpets as clean as possible. You want your hutch, all your family pictures, you want that stuff removed. So just a deep cleaning is gonna pay dividends. Little tiny fixes, a light bulb's out, replace the light bulb. Put in some nice bright light bulbs, so when a buyer comes and looks at your property and they switch the lights on, it really brightens up the inside. If you're gonna do any painting, stay with a very neutral color. Buyers can walk in, they see neutral, they're not getting hung up on a red wall, an orange wall, a pink wall in your daughter's room. Everything just go with a nice neutral color. All this is gonna pay dividends when you go to resell your property. So when you go to Home Depot and you're looking to pick out paint, I'm gonna give you an inside secret. This is what we use. We use a color called Sandstorm by Behr. It's a very basic color. It's a nice shade of a gray and a taupe mixed together, so you're not going with the grays, you're not going with the browns, but it's a blend. And then you want to do all your trim and all your door in a color called Swiss Coffee. All this can be purchased at Home Depot. Again, Sandstorm by Behr and Swiss Coffee, those are already pre-made and ready for a nice two-tone on your repaint. So the number one thing that scares buyers away is going to be trash. So when you walk into a property and buyers look and see all this trash, all this broken furniture, pictures on the wall, potentially small holes in the wall, your kids kicked a hole in the door, that stuff's going to deter buyers because mentally they're thinking, oh my gosh, $1,000 here, $2,000 there. When we walk in, we know just a nice good trash out we're gonna be able to see what we're dealing with, and they're very simple fixes. So majority of all the front doors are always gonna be scuffed. your kids, your dogs, people, the groceries when you're coming in, that stuff's been hitting the door and it's probably white. So all you want to do is go get a nice Swiss coffee, come back, put 3 coats on it, and look, it looks like a brand new front door. Very simple fix, and again, return on your investment. So your carpet is worn out and you're not sure what to do. Carpet is a very cheap, easy fix. You could go with a very basic grade carpet. Again, stay with a very neutral color. Not brown, not gray, but there is a shag with a mixture of both. They're very common right now. They're very hot right now, and it's a very simple upgrade. Put a new carpet in versus cleaning your bright red carpets or the old school blue carpets. Big return on investment. Landscaping do's and don'ts. What we like to do is just come back with simple rock. Can you put grass in? Yes. Can you plant trees and bushes? Yes. But what happens with that, what comes with that is irrigation, sprinklers, extra costs, extra maintenance. You have to mow the yard till your house sells. So what we like to do is just come back with a nice simple rock. It looks clean. It's desert landscaping. The maintenance, the cost to maintain, all that is very minimal because all it is rock. And again, when a buyer comes, if a buyer wants to plant that grass or if a buyer wants to plant a rose bush, let them do that. You just want a nice, simple, clean look. So renovating without emotion, what does that mean? What is that? So that's going to the store, not falling in love with the design center design up on the wall. That design is usually the most expensive design they have in the store. Yes, it looks great on the wall, but again, what you're wanting to focus on is just simple, clean, and cheap. And you're able to do that at a very effective cost. If you keep your costs down, you spend a little, you're gonna make a little. So return on investment is gonna be great if you just stay with the very basic materials because they're gonna look good, they're gonna be clean, and don't put your emotion in it. Don't mean, oh, I would fall in love with this bathroom. Of course you would, because it's gonna be a $50,000 bathroom. You can fall in love with $45,000 in your pocket by only spending $5. Big tips will return big on investment. So when you're looking at material, when you're pricing material, any store you go to, just ask for an A, B, C grade. And they're gonna show you the different grades of material, meaning your different price points. As far as flooring, you go all the way down to 50 cents a square foot, all the way up to $5 a square foot. You always wanna go to your big box stores. Floor Decor, Home Depot, Bedrosians, Lowe's. Go in there, talk with the people in those aisles. Talk with the designer and say, listen, I'm just trying to sell my house on a budget. What do you recommend? And then again, look at the different A, B, C level grades they have. I would say anything under $1 square foot for flooring is gonna be an excellent choice. It's gonna look good, just don't go with any crazy colors. Again, try to keep it neutral. Neutral is gonna be what rewards you the best as far as return on your investment. And the reason why, a buyer walks in, it's neutral, they can see their furniture, they can see their TV, and it's not some crazy flooring scheme that you've picked that emotionally you fell in love with, but all the other people don't have your same emotions. So again, when you go in, look for the cheap stuff, see what they have, and then compare that to the expensive stuff, and you'll start to see there's some quality differences. But again, if it's installed properly, it looks good, it's gonna pay dividends. I gave you a lot of useful information. Talked to you about granite, talked to you about countertops, colors, landscaping, what to do, what not to do. I get it. You don't want to put the $25,000 in. Contact me, we'll come over, we'll sit down, we'll make you a great offer on your property, and we'll take the headache for you. Let us put our money in and get you out of your situation.